have finally had an opportunity to finish this RC Bronco, and I've been working on it for a long time, trying to get these shocks on it. I've got the back, now I'm trying to get the front shocks. So we're going to start right now, and we're just going to start with getting these front shocks oiled up. So I'm going to start. As you can see, there's just a little bit of resistance. There is a little bit of oil already in it, but not enough to actually make a difference. So we're going to start by oiling the shock a tiny bit. Yeah, I can see there's oil in there. I think this might have been the one that I already oiled. Maybe. We're going to see if we can oil something again. Oh, whoa. That's a little more oil than I needed. That's fine. It'll be definitely filled more than I want, but that we can fix that. Okay. This will be the front one. I definitely put a lot of oil in it, so it's definitely a lot. I don't know. I'm just going to play around with it and see what we can do here. It's all good. We'll get it figured out. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're just going to get this one onto the front here. I've already got the RC car sitting right here. So what we're going to end up doing is we're just going to grab this shock and mount it right here. I had to make sure that I have a different screw though, because in the last live stream, as you guys saw, the screw ended up being stripped. I stripped it, so I had to go and figure something else out. And in fact, I had to grab another screw, so that should be fine. I just want to make sure that I'm right now. Half the battle is putting this stupid high clearance link in here because the way that Trax designed it, it's really, really tough to actually get anything in here. You have to really fight to get these stupid high clearance links in here. So this is really frustrating. Unfortunately, when I was pulling it apart, I had to pull out the high clearance link. I accidentally pulled it out. This was not what I wanted to happen. Okay, I've got that. Now I just need to find a screw that'll work in here perfectly. Let me just show you guys. This is the screw I was using that I stripped. So I need to grab a different screw. A screw this exact same type. And let me grab the phone here. I'll turn it around for you guys so you guys can see exactly what I'm working with. So this is all my parts that I've got from RC cars. So I just got to find one the same size here. All right, so this is the size screw that we got. I think this is the same size. It's a little bit smaller, but I think it'll do the exact same job, right? This one should do the exact same job as this one. It's a little bit smaller threads, but it should be good. So we're going to see how this works out for us. Well, maybe we'll see if we can find a different one. Oh, I think I found one right here. Okay. Nope, that's a little bit too small. Maybe this one right here. Let's try this. That's a little bit too small. These are the lineups. It is a little bit too small, as you guys can tell. So I'm going to try to find something a little bit bigger. I'm just looking for something that should match. I know that there's a few stripped screws in here, so I don't want to grab those. There's some that aren't the exact same size, but are close. Okay. This one looks like it's the closest, so we're going to use this right here. Okay, there we go. All right, we're going to bring it back over here. Okay. So we're back indeed, and we have all those parts for my RC car. Now here's what needs to happen is this needs to, wait, is this the one that's been oiled? Nope, it is this one. This is the oiled shock. I can tell because it's a lot more stiff. I tried to make it work, but it just didn't. Okay, that's fine. So we are going to use the screw. We have to be very careful about this because when we use the RC car here, if you guys are wondering what this is, these are the LED lights. I actually pulled these out because I couldn't put them in the car properly. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna try to fit the screw in here. If I can, I might have to rest it on my lap to get the screw in here. So guys, just hold on. Hold tight for a second while I try to get this. And I just pulled it out. Alright. That's a bummer. I've been fighting to get this high clearance link in here, and every time I fight to get it in there, it keeps falling out. So we're just gonna have to try again, and it does not help at all the fact that I've got the shock oil all over my hands. So trying to fit this in here with really slippery hands does not make it any easier. Shock oil is so slippery. Like it's just normal oil, but it's just a little bit different. Thanks. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab something to wipe off my hands here. Give me a second. I'm just gonna bring you guys with me while I do that because it doesn't make sense to leave you there. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna grab something real quick to wipe off my fingers, so that'll be a lot easier. So here's what we're dealing with here. You guys can see I've got this high clearance link that I'm just trying to put underneath here, keep it in the right direction. And I am going to try to show you guys as much of this project as I can. I'm going to try to keep the car up here and on the desk so you guys can actually see what I'm up to. But also, it is a little bit difficult at times. Sometimes I had to rest it on my lap just to make it easier to actually put this in here. So if you guys can't see the car, I'm sorry. It's because I'm trying to work on it. So we will see from here. But I hope you guys are all doing good. I hope you guys have a good day. Or have had or are having, either one. So here's the difficulty. Let me kind of show you what I'm talking about. In this little clearance link here, there's this little metal piece. And this little metal piece is actually really difficult to get in here correctly. So we're just going to keep trying at it to be completely honest. Just going to see if I can make it in there. No. Sometimes what'll happen is it'll end up just like this. I think it's in there, but the metal piece is actually super important that metal piece goes in there correctly. And when it keeps turning around and flipping, there's nothing I can really do about that. So this metal piece has to go in there straight. The screw is going to go right through this metal piece. And if I don't keep this metal piece completely straight when it goes in, then I'm causing some issues. We're just going to see what I can do here. This is so tough, honestly, because they make it so tight. The clearance link goes in, but it goes in so tight that it's so difficult, to be completely honest. My goodness. I got it in, and then everything was going great. I was so happy, I had it in, and I was about ready to put the screw in, and as soon as I put the screw in, it fell out again. And so this is the kind of stuff I'm dealing with. Okay, I've got it. Now let's just pray that we don't mess it up. This is going to be the hardest part because I've got to get the screw in there too. Oh. So I've got to adjust the high clearance link as I put the screw in as well. They have to match up with each other. So we're going to see we're going to see if I can get it in there correctly. This is really tough. Okay, it feels like I just got it in. So I think we're good. All right, so here's what we're going to do from here. We're going to screw it in. And because last time I figured out I stripped a screw pulling it out, we are going to screw it in not nearly as tight this time. We're going to make sure that I can pull it out pretty easily without stripping the screw. Because on all four sides, one of the sides I did not have an issue with. on the rear. And then the rear side was not that much of an issue. I didn't have to worry about stripping a screw. And then the front, I definitely did have to worry about it. Because I was pulling it out and it was definitely too tight. And then one on the rear side was definitely too tight as well. So we're just going to work on putting this in. We want it to be loose enough that I can pull it out easily without having a big issue. But I also want it to be, I want it to be, in there so it doesn't pop out while I'm driving it or get in the way of the steering piece here. Okay, it feels like it's starting to get tight. I don't want it to go all the way in. I want it to keep it a little bit out. I also want to make sure it doesn't get in the way of anything else. You know what I mean? If we have this steering section here, if the screw gets in the way of that, that's going to cause a lot of issues. So I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen. All right. That's good. Right there. Perfect. So we've got this shock here. We're going to attach it onto this piece right here. Okay. Yeah. I was just thinking, all right, so my F-150 build is different than my Ford Bronco build. And so I was trying to figure out where to mount the shock. I know where to mount it now. Okay, so we're going to grab this. Wait, which screw? There's a couple different screws. Those ones. Okay. I'm not absolutely sure. Is it this screw? Probably. It's the one that's all by itself over here on this side. Okay, sorry that I won't. I just dropped my screw. I was gonna say sorry that I won't be really showing you guys much of it. I'm gonna try. All right, so here's what we got going on. We're gonna put the screw in the top here. This is really difficult because now my other hand is all slippery from the shock oil. I'm gonna need to charge my phone here in a bit. That's fine. Okay, we gotta hold this right. So sorry, you guys probably won't be able to see the car super well while I'm fixing it, but I just gotta make sure that I get this in here correctly. I just gotta get it started, and I can finish it up here. There we go. Okay, I can hold it like this and get it the rest of the way done. I wish there was a way to make it a lot easier so I could actually kind of show you guys exactly like which screw I'm screwing in or something. Because I know you guys can see the car, you guys can see the shock right now, but you guys can't necessarily see the screw. So that's fine, The top screw can always screw in tighter than the bottom one. The bottom one is always easier to strip on the way out. So I'm just going to keep that in mind. Okay, so now here's the last side that I have to do. So I've got 1, 2, and then 3 shocks on it. And these are all aluminum shocks. These are 69 mm. No, 59 mm shocks, which is millimeter, 59 millimeter shocks. And these shocks are going to make a huge difference on just how it performs. So that's part of the reason why I'm actually upgrading these shocks is the stock Traxxas shocks are 51 millimeters. And so I'm upgrading to 59 millimeters instead of 51. All right, so here's the next difficult situation I've got here is I want to make sure positively this screw right here on the bottom on the shock is not going to be stripped as it's coming out. So I have to be very everything is kind of getting in my way right now. This turn thing, I've honestly just forgot what it's called. We're going to look it up afterwards. This is tough because it's really about the angle. I feel like every single one of these is going to be stripped because it's about the angle. If I get the angle wrong, I'm going to ruin it. And so far, the angle is wrong. Okay, I do see that the screw is turning, so I'm just going to keep doing it like really light. Make sure I'm turning it correctly. Make sure I'm not applying too much pressure to it, because if I apply too much pressure, then it won't actually come out. So hey, we're actually getting somewhere this time. That's good. We haven't stripped this one. That's going to make my job so much easier, to be completely honest. And so for you guys who are just now watching the stream and trying to figure out what I'm doing, I am upgrading some shocks on my car. So for you guys that are just now wondering what's going on, this is what I'm doing. I'm upgrading the shocks, and I'm upgrading them from plastic to aluminum, and also I'm upgrading them from 51 millimeters to 59 millimeters. So that's the difference. All right, so we're going to pull off the shock. We're going to undo the top one as well. Is it fast? So actually, this one is not. This one is a RC crawler, and crawlers are meant to go at like 5 miles per hour. So these ones are definitely a whole lot slower. But I have not heard of those cars. Are those RC cars? A brand of RC cars? But yeah, no, this is a crawler. It's meant to go 5 miles per hour. It's meant to basically just be good on like rocks and rough terrain instead of go fast. I do have some behind me here. Some of these cars behind me, as you can see, are definitely more fit for going fast. This blue one right here goes 60 miles per hour. So that's my fastest car I have. Do I have any racing ones? My best racing one, like I said, would be this blue Ford Raptor right here. This one runs at 60 miles per hour. So yeah, that would be the best racing one I have. Oh, okay. So like you're saying like they have probably like 1/64 scale or something like that. Cars like Hot Wheel cars that are motorized. Is that what you're talking about? Those type of cars? Okay. Now we've got this shock right here, and we're going to oil this one too because we haven't oiled it yet. And what I keep doing wrong is I keep putting too much oil in them. So I'm just going to start by trying to put a whole lot less. But we're almost there. Yeah, for sure. So the difficulty with that one, the reason why I'm not doing any videos on it up to this point, is because it is broken at this moment, and so I am going to have to get that fixed. It's a inner driveline issue right now. That's the issue I'm having with it. So I don't do a lot with these big cars, these 30 mile per hour, 60 mile per hour cars. These are definitely built different than rock crawlers. I know how to do rock crawlers. As you can see, I've been doing a lot to these vehicles. But those type of vehicles I haven't done a lot to. 1/10 scale vehicles are definitely have a different build. So those are a little more difficult, but it's all good. You know, I can work on it. The unfortunate thing about that one is that one has been. Hang on, guys. I'm going to try to find a screw real quick. I just got to make sure I find the right one. I think it's this one. They are definitely a different build, and it's been taken off the market, unfortunately, that car, the big blue one behind me, the Ford Raptor. And so I have had to send it in to them in order to get it fixed before, which is not ideal in any situation, because it costs me over $100 to get it fixed. It's like a $45 per hour charge. They charge that much money an hour to get it fixed. It's not ideal in any situation, but I had to get it fixed, and so I sent it to them. The shipping cost $100. It was worth it, I would say, for about 1 hour, and then after an hour, they fixed it, and then it broke again after an hour, unfortunately. So it's not necessarily where I want to be in this situation, but it is what it is, and I can manage. I'm just going to have to get it fixed. So, okay, so what's going on here? Oh, I mounted it wrong. That's really, really, really unfortunate. I don't actually honestly know what the servo is, because these are all stock servos. from the Traxxas cars. So I haven't done any upgrading on them myself. I will eventually. I think actually. So if you guys can see behind me, there's the little blue truck back there. It is this one right here, that blue truck. And that one is my Ford F-150. I've done a lot of mods to that one. I am going to add an extra steering servo in the back. And the reason why I'm going to do that is for rear wheel steering. I really want rear wheel steering on that because rear wheel steering can help you so much when you're crawling and stuff. It'll help you get a whole different angles and everything. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of work on that because it's a little bit complicated. You have to have a lot of things. You have to have steering servos. You have to have a 6-channel transmitter and a 6-channel receiver. And it is or a 4-channel receiver, 6-channel transmitter. And so it is a little more complicated, but it is okay. I think I'm gonna start working on that truck back there. So give it rear wheel steering. I also did mount some nice brass portal axles onto it. The issue I had with those was that they actually broke really fast. They broke within like a week of having it. They were $70 portal axles, so it wasn't anything super light. Like it was just really unfortunate that happened to me. So just keep in mind for you guys when you guys are going to buy portal axles for your cars, make sure you're getting a really good brand because I definitely did not get a good brand. I think it was AMK, something like that, or RMC Racing, something crazy like that, and it did not have good gears. It was the gears that broke actually. And so I have not had any issues with stock Traxxas gears up to this point. Sure, it is definitely a little bit different going from RC cars to real cars. RC cars, everything is more tiny and delicate, whereas real cars, you definitely takes a lot more patience and takes a lot more learning. Real cars are similar in certain ways, but in a lot of ways, they're also not. RC cars are built to be very simple, whereas oftentimes real cars are built for their performance. So that's what gives it the main difference ultimately. All right, so here's what I've done. I'm going to update you guys on what's happening right now. So the reason why I am unscrewing the shock again is because I've mounted it I mounted it upside down. So I'm going to mount it correctly. You know what's funny is I'm over here talking about how to correctly build all your RC cars, and I'm over here mounting a RC shock wrong. How in the world, right? Okay. I swear, I've done this before. I know what I'm doing. All right, so yeah, we're just going to go and screw this one in real quick. Make sure it's not too tight because I don't want to strip the screw a second time. I go to pull these off or go to switch the shocks again or add more oil, that kind of stuff. And then oh, for sure. 1-to-1 scale RC car. Okay, I'm just trying to think real quick. How would that work? Technically, I mean, that would be a real car, just I'm not sure an RC car though. Getting that to work for like imagine trying to build a 1-to-1 scale real, I mean that size RC car would be insane. To get it to actually move and stuff, you would need a receiver, you need a transmitter, and you would need a receiver and transmitter big enough to actually fit that thing. That would be pretty crazy. I'm not going to lie. That would be insane. That would make a crazy YouTube video. Yeah, basically. I mean, yeah, probably, huh? Basically a Tesla at that point. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's just honestly something that you'd have to control. I feel like what I want to do sometime is I want to completely build my own RC car from scratch, buy my own motor for it, portal axles, kind of buy everything for it, and then build it from the ground up. Although I'm not going to right now because that runs me about $600 to actually build my own RC car correctly. And though it would be really cool, I definitely do not have that type of money yet. Okay, so perfect, you guys. I'm so excited. We finally got it done after a long time, a lot of pain and frustration, a lot of patience needed. I finally got it done. Now all of these shocks are added on here. So these are all aluminum shocks. These are 59 millimeter shocks, like I said earlier. And so I'm going to, from here, all I have to do is add on this right here so it can actually steer. And then I think we are good to go. Make sure I'm mounting it correctly. Sorry if I'm not actually showing you guys much of my work. This is going to be tough. All right, this is the hardest part because, again, you have to line up all of these little brass rings inside here. So we're going to keep trying it. But so these RC live streams to this point I feel like I've been going really good. I've been really liking these streams and hope you guys have been liking them too, because I think I'm going to be doing these streams from now on. I used to do more educational based streams, but I think because I do a lot of RC shorts, it just makes sense that I do RC live streams as well. So yeah, if you guys want to see more of these streams, I am streaming every day, something new on my RC cars, generally new. I was fixing these shocks I've done this for 3 live streams. I've been working on building these shocks. So I hope you guys enjoy these streams. If you guys think I should add a different twist to it, if you guys have a cool idea, feel free to give me some ideas and I would be happy to hear out what you guys have to say. So oftentimes I feel like when people do YouTube, it's always better to try and hang on. Let me read this comment. Yep, it is really easy. They have different mechanisms for these steering rods. Actually, you wouldn't believe it, but they do. These different mechanisms. Sometimes they actually have. Let me show you as soon as I get this mounted. I just want to correctly mount it before I lose screws and stuff. So let me show you. We have certain mechanisms for this. This mechanism is really cool. I really like this mechanism that they have because it makes it a lot more simple. But let me show you the other mechanism they actually have for some of you guys who don't know. All right, so this steering right here, you have the servo and you have the steering horn on the servo right here. This connects to the steering horn. If I can show you guys any easier, let me see. Here's the steering horn right here. I'm touching it. This little tiny black piece, okay? This steering rod connects right to that, and the steering servo just turns the steering horn, which allows this whole piece to turn. Now, sometimes they have a different mechanism that the steering horn is actually like way over on this side, and you just have one straight steering rod, and the other piece goes directly into that. It is kind of an odd system. I like this system a lot more because it's definitely a lot easier. You only have to do 3 screws instead of like 4 for the other mechanism. This mechanism is really nice. I really like this mechanism for the steering rod. But yeah, this is one of the most simple ones I've done. And yeah, I really like this system. Actually, one issue I've had with this in the past, and this is completely my fault, is I didn't have the right size screws for it, so I just put in longer screws. Okay, so don't ever do that, okay? When you are building a steering mechanism on your car, do not ever compensate for bigger screws because you do not have smaller ones. Always make sure you have the correct size screws. The reason being is screws get in the way. If you have a screw going into the steering horn and it goes all the way down here, it actually blocks it from actually turning. It will destroy the gears. I haven't destroyed the gears, but I got very close to. It's a good thing I noticed it fast. Okay, so this might be actually too big. I might have to find a smaller screw. Because yeah, this one's actually too big. The hardest part is actually, I hope that on Traxxas, the website that I bought this RC car from, they have a whole set of screws. I haven't ever seen it on there, but it would be really nice if they had like a whole set of screws that you need for the car, because so many people lose a screw that they would really like to have one. All right, I'm going to bring you guys with me real quick as I go to find my extra part that I'm looking for. So I'm looking for just a small screw to go in that steering plate. This should do it right here. I just need this size screw. We're going to use this one. I'm going to turn it around here. Okay. We're going to use this one for my steering rod here. Did I say steering plate? I probably did. Okay. All right. And this is something that's really cool about RC cars, because you really start to learn every bit of mechanism in them. I've learned about the portal axles, the gearing system, how that works, and it is really fascinating to find out how that works. Okay, so we're going to try. I'm just having issues with the screw going into the steering horn. All right, now we got it. So yeah, this is, like I was saying earlier, probably not. I actually don't even know at this point. So these are just a bunch of screws from my other RC vehicles, and I just started to grab them and see, does that look like it'll thread properly? Does that look like it's the correct length? So it could be. I actually have no idea. These are just a bunch of screws that I've just fit in here. All right, so now we've got the steering correctly. I really don't like to do this because it can kind of ruin it, to be completely honest. But only when I rebuild it, I do this. I only just turn it once to make sure that the steering mechanism works. If it's way too tight and just doesn't work, that's a problem. But I only do this once. I really hate it when people grab their RC cars and drag it back and forth when it's off, or even on, either way. When they drag it back and forth like this on the ground, because it really messes up the gearing system over time. Oh, that's sweet. So you've built some robotic arms, RC drones, and planes. RC drones and planes are definitely some of the coolest ones to build. I haven't personally built them, but I've heard a lot of people who have, and they look pretty cool. So yeah, from here, I am going to start working on adding these wheels on it, and then that'll be it. So let me find my tool. I have a special tool for adding these out. Here it is. All right. Okay, make sure I put this in here correctly. Now, these wheels and tires actually look a little bit different. These are not stock. These are actually a little bit different wheels and tires. These are kind of special. Porsches, to be completely honest, I don't know a whole lot about how they run. As far as the look, my favorite car is a 911 Porsche. That is my favorite car up to this point. I really like the style on that car. All right, so I'm just going to make sure everything's all set up. We're going to put this wheel on. Okay. And then here's what's really handy. This tool right here is specifically for this hex to go into the tire. You guys should have these. If you guys work on RC cars a lot, you guys should have these. These are really, really handy. They just screw right in like this. They make your life a whole lot easier than trying to do it with your fingers or some other way. All right. This one's in. Okay. Now we're just going to get the other two tires on, and this project is finished. Oh my goodness, that makes me really happy, because I've been working on this for three days already. In every live stream, I've been trying to upgrade these shocks. Not only, one, do these shocks look cooler because they're red, but also they are definitely more durable because they are aluminum. And not only that, is these add some extra length to the car and extra flexibility. So that should be really nice. We're going to get the last wheel on here, and we'll put the body on for you guys to see the Bronco. You guys haven't seen the Bronco fully put together yet, so You guys are going to see it in just a minute. All right, we're going to put it on, and then I'm not going to run it because I know you guys probably trust me that these shocks are just going to go on. That the shocks don't add to how the car drives at all. It's just for extra length or extra height, I mean. Okay, sweet. Let's put this on. And the Bronco is completely finished now. So, look at this. This is actually really sweet. Okay? We've got the extra length here. This is what it looks like with the extra shocks. It definitely gives it a whole lot more length. So, look at this, guys. It's making it look a whole lot better. I've actually just made sure not to add the springs. And you guys might question that. Why haven't you added the springs? Like, look how much lower it is to the ground. Let me see if I can show you guys. Oh, hang on. I just covered the camera there. Let me see if I can show you guys how low it is to the ground here. Okay, here we go. This is how low it is to the ground. And the reason for that is I've actually removed the springs to give it more articulation. All right, well, thank you guys for coming to view my video and watching my live stream. I'm going to end the stream here. But if you guys want to see more streams like this, more building, more RC projects, maybe I'll just run some RC cars for you guys in future live streams. If you guys want to see more of these, don't forget to subscribe. We're almost 300 subscribers, so I'd really appreciate if you guys would subscribe. And that being said, thank you so much for watching the stream. I will see you guys all in the next stream tomorrow. Bye-bye.